Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Mills. I'm the owner of First Choice Construction, and I want to come to you right now to bring you the top 5 reasons that you are losing shingles on your roof. So let's get to it real quick. Alright, now let's dive in. Thanks for joining our YouTube channel today. We are trying to get back into it, back into the swing of things, creating content for you guys. So if you wouldn't mind, leave me a comment down below and just let me know what kind of content you guys would like for us to create. But without any further ado, let's get into the content. First off, the first reason that you are losing shingles on your roof without fail is seal failure. And that goes for just about every single one of these reasons, that for some reason the seal underneath the shingle has failed. Whether that be due to age or installation or other things like that. We will get to that here in just a few minutes. But the absolute number one reason is almost always going to be because somewhere along the line, the seal that is keeping your shingle glued down has failed. The next reason would be a bad roof deck. If your contractor or whoever did your roof didn't do the due diligence of making sure that your roof deck is in proper shape, making sure that there's nothing rotten, no delamination, anything like that, which we may do a future video on just roof decking and why that's important. But if your roof is not in proper order, then that can lead to your nails not holding the way they should, which ultimately would make those shingles just peel off. If they're not holding down in the strength of the shingle into the wood itself, then it's going to fall off with any amount of wind. High wind would be the third reason, which again, all of these kind of tie in together. Any number of these things are going to cause it, but wind lifting your shingle up, actually getting underneath the shingle and blowing it up after that seal failure is going to cause that shingle to rip or tear, which will ultimately result in shingle loss. All right, so the fourth reason that you could be losing shingles and why they're blowing off your roof is just due to age. Especially if they're the old 3-tab style shingles. One, they're just not rated for the same wind rating as the newer style, like dimensional architectural shingles are. But also that silicone bead that's underneath, that's holding your top layer fast to the layer below it, could just be deteriorating, wearing out, and it's losing its strength. So when those winds come, they're not withstanding the same wind speeds that they were prior to, because they're just literally aging, and they're not able to stay together like they were before. And not able to hold that same strength and tear power. Right, and finally, the number one reason that you're losing shingles on your roof is due to improper installation. Every shingle has a nail strip that has got to be hit inside that zone every single time, or it's not in the 2-ply or the kind of what I call the meat of the shingle, where those two shingles laminate together and they're 2-ply, they're double layered right there. There's a strip that runs right through there that gives you all of the strength of the shingle. If your nail does not go through that zone, every shingle manufacturer does it differently, but I think the standard nail zone is like 1/4 of an inch. And if that nail is not hitting right in that zone, then it's not in that, what I call the meat of the shingle. And therefore, the strength is not there. And so when those high winds come, it just wants to pull that right off. And what you'll notice a lot of times, especially in these newer shingles, is because like we talked about, that silicone bead that's underneath, it's still new. So it's still strong. It has a lot of that strength, but it's not nailed properly. So one of these shingles lifts up, and a lot of the times on these new dimensional style shingles, they will rip off in sheets, and you'll just see it in several rows at a time instead of just an individual shingle pulling off. So that's why it's absolutely vital that the person installing your roof knows what they're doing, is installing it properly, and hitting that nail zone every single time. So that's, in my opinion, the top 5 reasons that you're losing shingles on your roof. So if you like this comment, please just let us know by giving us a quick thumbs up at the bottom. And then if there's anything that you have questions about for your roof or your house, go ahead and ask those questions down below, and we'll try to address those in a future video. Thank you guys so much for coming, and we really appreciate you.